When were you first notified that your mother had to vacate her property?
Uh, we were basically notified about 6 months before she had to vacate her property. We knew there was things in the works, and but there was no deals made, no proper notification given, and then one day they just said, "Oh, you got to be out by this date." So we had to rush in order to get a house for her and all the utilities put in and things like that. She just actually recently just moved into her house. So she was living with me for almost 4 months.
So how long was that home in your family then?
Oh boy. I was, I believe, 14 when we moved out there, and I'm 50 now. So that's what, 36 years?
So
And it was actually built by me, my brother, and my dad, and a couple of guys that he knew. He used to own a construction company. But the majority of the work my dad did by himself. Like he built the cupboards inside the home. He built the fireplaces, the mantles, everything like that. He actually did all by himself. Truth be told, the house was getting a little large for just my mother. She's 82. And, being that big of a house and, going up and down the stairs, the bedrooms were upstairs, it was starting to take a toll on her. And, it was sad to see it go, but, times change. And she thought, well, a littler house might be okay. It was how the government handled it that was very, very upsetting to her. Like she was, I thought she was going to end up having a heart attack. And, she was always crying. And, you hate to see your 82-year-old mother cry. We couldn't get any direct answers from the government. And that was the major problem of it. Anybody you called, they would send out the construction guys to answer questions. And all they would say is, oh, I don't know. I don't have that authority. Well, and I understand that, but my mom couldn't. And well, why? What are you doing here then? Why did they send you? Nobody with any kind of authority really spoke to us. They appraised it, and they offered us, because it was agricultural land, $5,700 an acre. And there was a little piece that was getting cut off because we had a train track that ran through our land, and which, from our understanding, was supposed to revert back to our ownership after the railway was removed. And that was the deal that the RM had with the railway. And it somehow ended up in the possession of the city of Regina. A road nowhere. A little strip of land through our land is owned by the city of Regina. So between the highway and that was a little section of our land. And then they turned around and offered us $11,000 per acre for that land. Okay, how can it almost like double in price just because it's, that's already expropriated? All of a sudden this, so we said no to that, and we'll just keep it because obviously it's worth money. And then we found out just across the highway, a couple of miles, the highway's going through a farmer's field, no housing involved, no nothing, and he gets $20,000 an acre. And here we're going to have highway frontage on two sides, and our land isn't worth anything. It was the discrepancies in the land prices. The things that people have dug up are amazing, and what's even more amazing is nothing's being done about it. Once I saw some of the information, things started to click in my mind. I believe it was 2012. All of a sudden, out of the blue, we had people coming wanting to buy land. And they wanted the land, they wanted a strip of land that ran from my mom's house straight west. They said they want to open that up for, the one guy said greenhouses, but, and the other guy basically said, we asked, well, who were you with? And he said, well, why does that matter? So
Who were they with?
don't know. They never did tell us. And in that 2 years, we had about 6 people come out wanting to buy land. One guy wanted the land between my mom's and my place, where she used to be, because we're both on the corners of the quarter here. So he basically wanted all that highway frontage, and he did say that he wanted to develop it, and we said no, because you know, my parents, and especially my mom, she was renting out the land. They're diehard farmers, so that got us to thinking, because the very next year there started being rumors about this highway coming through. So, well, how did these guys know that something was going to be going on here? Like, obviously there was information being slipped out that probably shouldn't have been, until it was all, you know, yes, we are doing this, you know, now your land's worth this much or whatever. Because, and the thing was, we had submitted proposals for years to try and be able to develop our land, and we were always shot down by the provincial government. They, nope, nope, nope. The last one we tried to do, I believe, was 2013 or 2014. Me and one of my former bosses, he kind of dabbles in development. We're looking to develop it for commercial use. And so we went to the RM and showed him our proposal. They were very excited about it. And as the process went on, all of a sudden he said, no, we have to stop. I said, why? He said, well, we're not really sure, but the government said there's no more switching of land, like from agriculture to commercial or anything like that. And he said they're going to let us know in 6 months. Well, about 8 to 12 months later, we found out that's because there's a highway coming through.